Welcome back to Gatecrashers. We are doing another special interview episode. This time we are talking about Apple TV Plus's Shape Island for season 2. This one is wild because I got to talk to Yvette Nicole Brown, Scott Adsit, and Jon Mack, who created and showrun the show. Yvette and Scott are two comedians who have been like big tentpoles throughout my life. I'm a huge comedy fan. Scott was on 30 Rock and, was Baymax. And Yvette Nicole Brown has been with me since Drake and Josh, Community, and a million other things. But more importantly to me, and maybe only me, she played Amanda Waller in a bunch of DC animated things, which is like a huge... Amanda Waller's probably one of my top 5 DC characters, so getting to talk to someone who played Amanda Waller was incredible. But for Shape Island, we actually got to talk about a lot of really cool things. We got to talk about fairy tales, narratives. We got to talk about narration and how important it is to storytelling. We got to talk about life lessons. We got to talk about a lot of different things about stories. And it was actually a really magical set of interviews. So I really hope you enjoy them. So enjoy. Thanks for listening. And check it out on Apple TV Plus. Oh, hi, I'm Dan. This is wonderful. Cannot believe this is happening. So
I'm excited too, Daniel. Let's have our time.
I know. Just let me get these questions in, then I can fanboy a little bit.
Yes.
I have to be a hard-hitting journalist, and I start
Put that hat on, Daniel. Put that hat on.
All of my interviews start with a very hard-hitting question, so I hope you're ready for it.
I'm ready.
What is your favorite sandwich?
Oh, gosh. A little smoked turkey with a little Miracle Whip and a tomato. Little cherry tomato. Woo, honey. Wrap it in a tortilla. Wrap it in a tortilla, Daniel. Woo, get your life. Get your life. That's my favorite sandwich.
I like the smoked turkey. I like that you have what type you like. All right, I like that. Mm-hmm. Now, narration is such an important part of storytelling that often gets overlooked. Now, in this show, you are the narrator, and it's such an important work and part of the show because it's the framework that keeps everything together. Mm-hmm. Do you personally have any favorite narrators from stories or things in your life that have helped you?
My internal narrator is Morgan Freeman. So whenever, and I use the Morgan Freeman voice sometimes when I'm tweeting or I'm online. If I want something with some gravitas, someone with gravitas to say something, I will put in quotes Morgan Freeman voice, and he'd be like, Yvette actually was not shocked. So that's the voice I hear in my head for me. So I'm going with Morgan Freeman.
I like that. That's it is one of the best voices.
Absolutely.
Now, for the Emmy Award-winning Shape Island, you narrate and help navigate through many learning situations. Mm-hmm. Do you ever find your work on a program like this has helped you anywhere in your life to kind of take a step back and take those maybe younger life lessons to apply them to what you're dealing with in your day-to-day life?
Absolutely. What I love about the shapes on Shape Island, because they're so different. Square is very serious, triangle is very tricky and crazy, and circle is very ethereal and motherly. What I learn about them is that they have to coexist. They're on this island. They can't leave. All of them can't leave. Circle can fly, but the other ones can't fly. So they can't leave. So they have to find a way to exist together. And that's the lesson that I've learned, because I can get a little upset about what's happening in the world. And I have to find a way to tamp that down a little bit and maybe see the humanity of someone else and encourage them to see my humanity. So that's a great lesson that comes from Shape Island, because you have to, we're on this little floating ball in the cosmos, and we have to learn how to all be here together,
That is wonderful. Mm-hmm. That is such an amazing thing. I'm very thankful that you've continued doing this. I've always loved you in different spaces that you've popped up throughout time. But the one thing I'm just elated to say is that you're the first person I've gotten to speak to who has played or voiced Amanda Waller, who is one of my favorite characters ever. So I was just, I'm 33, so you have been with me in my entire life.
Your whole life. You could be my baby. I could have birthed you myself. You could be my sweet little baby.
You're a cornerstone of comedy and things like that. Do you ever find Where do you find your strengths are in voice acting versus your strengths in regular full body acting?
You know what's funny? If you've watched me, you probably watched Drake and Josh and Community and things like that. I have a very rubbery face, and everything that I feel or I'm thinking as a character, usually it'll be an eyebrow raise or a look or whatever. And you can't do that in voiceover. You can't show that you're angry or you're happy or whatever. You have to put it in your voice. So that was the biggest mountain for me to climb, is figure out how to make myself sound authoritative or sound like I'm happy or sound like I'm sad without using my face to do it. But it's a good tool to have. So I'm so glad that I worked through the ranks through the years, and I think I'm pretty good at it now. And it's my favorite thing to do. Voiceover is my favorite thing to do. And I'm honored, and I'm really honored. You talk about Amanda Waller. I'm so honored that I'm on that list with like Viola Davis and Angela Bassett. Like the people that have played or voiced Amanda Waller it's legendary. So that I'm on that list is just bananas.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think your voice is so emotive, and especially for things like this, like it just works because
thank you so much.
A magical voice, and it's always been that way.
You.
So this was a pleasure. I'm just so excited.
Should we take a picture before we go? You want me to get a picture together?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but yeah.
Let me see if I can get this to go. Hold on. I can get this. Hold on. I'll send it to you. Okay, let me know when you're ready to smile. Hold on. I don't want to take up your time, but I want to get this for you. You make it nice.
I don't want to take up your time is much more important.
Okay, so not true. Okay, look at the camera and smile. Just sweet little face. You ready? I got us. So I have to just get your email, and I'll put your email in the chat, and then I'll put your email in the chat. And then I'll send it to you.
This was amazing.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
So glad to talk to you. My pleasure, honey.
You are as everything that I could have ever imagined and more. Thank you, Simona, and everyone who put this together. It was my birthday this week as well, so this was the best.
When was your birthday? What day?
Monday. So
which date? Which date is that?
August 18th.
Same as Malcolm Jamal Warner, my friend Malcolm. And I was August 12th. Yeah, he was wonderful. And I was August 12th. So, hey, my fellow Leo.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, he was one of the people my whole life is like, that's one of my birthday people.
That's your birthday twin. Yeah. Well, you share a birthday with a really great man. So
thank
you. Lucky you.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful day and have a great press tour.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. I'll send
to meet you. Bye.
Hit record. There you go. And then keep your eye out on the chat. We'll send you that 1 minute warning.
Absolutely. Just give me 1 second to get into character. So I'm a hard-hitting journalist, and I like to start every interview off with a pretty heavy one. So I hope you're both ready.
Yeah, let's go.
What is your favorite sandwich?
I can't believe you did this to us, Daniel. All right, there is a sandwich that John and I still talk about. It is a sandwich that we had in Edinburgh, and we talk about it all the time. At this point, it was like 8 years ago, but we're still trying to get back to that sandwich. It had a fig jam, and then what was the cheese, John?
It was like a soft white cheese. It's a bit of a mystery.
It wasn't brie. It was not brie. I just wanted to be clear. Visually, it was in the brie universe. You might think
it wasn't sharp. Yeah.
My God, this sandwich was incredible. Yeah. We knew.
And then we went back to Edinburgh again. Or did I just go by myself?
You went by yourself, and I was like, good luck with the sandwich. Good luck finding. I was like, enjoy the sandwich, basically, when John told me he was going on the strip.
And then I got there, and it was one of those situations where it's like, that place has been closed for 75 years. Like, it was just, it evaporated. It was gone. We didn't even, I couldn't find it again. It was just in the back roads of Edinburgh somewhere in one of these twisty, cobblestoney, ancient place, and just gone. Farewell sandwich.
Yeah. For some reason, the person in Edinburgh had a pioneer accent, was like, the old cheese and fig sandwich.
There wasn't even any.
It was award winning, but that place has been closed for 75 years.
Like Mac and I enjoy some meat, and there wasn't even any meat in this. It didn't need it.
That's how when you know a good sandwich, when you love meat, but you're like, this is good enough, or I don't.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
There's a lot of places like Philly like that.
Oh yeah.
Now you're returning for season 2 of Shape Island on Apple TV Plus. Between season 1 and 2, Was there anything that you wanted to return to the show with and change or tweak with feedback you got from season 1?
I think it was more. It was not like feedback. It was the sense of getting to know these characters better and just like really sinking into this world. And I don't mean like the island they live on, but the world that's created when you get 3 very different personalities and you get to know them better and what they mean to each other. It just lets you kind of, I don't know, I like in some ways be looser and in some ways get deeper too.
There's something that happens in books, so that's happened to me in books anyway, over the course of like a long time doing them, that happened with I think these episodes too, is that at the beginning when you start something, because we'd never done a show before season 1, not like that. You think that you need like 12 ideas to make an episode, and you string them together, and like every episode feels like it's like a huge novel or something. And then by the time season 2 came around, we had evolved to the point where like one really strong idea could make an episode, and the pleasure of sort of extrapolating on that, but keeping almost a concept episode to be like, what's the one idea here? And it's so much more fun to like stretch that out and make it into what is this one idea for the episode? And that happened more and more, I think, in this season than it did in the second one or in the first season.
Yeah, I mean, Shape Island's a comedy, right? And you know, with funny people, there are kind of 2 different kinds of funny people. There are funny people, you get to know them and you're like, this person is so funny. But then when you get to know them, you realize that you were like, oh, I kind of heard all their jokes. I get it. Like, there's not more there. And then there are the funny people that, like, the more you get to know them, the funnier they are, the more you can't believe it. Like, every year you know that person, you're like, man, what a mysterious and funny person. And I feel like that is season 2, and that is our characters here. That is our hope, is like, it rewards knowing them more. You just laugh even more.
Well, both of you are the parents of all of these characters and things like that. I am curious. I come from a background in comics where a lot of things are co-created and you work together. What was it like for both of you coming to this and kind of having to let go of your children? Like, you aren't in full creative control of this because there's other voices in the room. What was that like for you as artists? Like, how did that make you feel to let other people have a say in what you're doing?
It takes a minute, for sure. But I think that also what you realize, and you know this intellectually, you just need to really learn it, is that these people are better than you at a lot of things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, no, I wanna do it, and then they bring it back. You're like, oh, right, you're really good at that, and just like that happened again and again, where like and then you begin to be like, actually, this is great. We're getting a really great show when we do that. But it took, because the show, by the time it got on the air, Mac and I had lived with our idea of the show for so long, right? We'd been talking about what we would do. And so it wasn't like this, it changed a lot just by virtue of making anything. It changes, right? You have this kind of weird orb in your head of what the show could be, and then you have the thing in practice. And it's so amazing to watch it actually become something that needs to be practically worked out. But we had such a good team on all the fronts that we got incredibly lucky, I think, with what it ended up actually being.
I think it was a little easier for me than Jon, I'll just say, because, you know, Jon and I come from the world of picture books, which like comics, like, it often involves collaboration. But the order in which we collaborate, typically, not always, is like, I write a manuscript, and because I can't draw, an illustrator, and I often work with Jon, will come in, and basically, like, it really is finishing the story. I make this unfinished thing and hand it off.
Right.
Jon, who fills some of it in. And, you know, then this book is read out loud by a teacher or a librarian or a parent who makes voices and decides how this thing moves and what it sounds like. And then finally a kid gets to come in and fill in the blanks and decide what it means too. But I'm like very used to letting go of stuff early and then just letting other people fill it in and make it better. That's what Jon does for me all the time. So
I control it. I'm the last last stop on this.
That's
and so
right.
I
Yeah.
being a control freak about it. Mac's like one of those farmers who's just like, yeah, we lost another one last night. Anyway, let's have some breakfast. And he's just used to that cycle of life. And I'm sitting there like weeping because the one leaf I wanted a certain way didn't come out. Like I'm just used to like complete control. And so I think he's right. Is it just temperamentally the way that we are? It took me longer to get used to it. But also I think the learning curve was so much more rewarding because I did have that to learn.
Well, thank you both. I'm very excited for people to be able to see this show. I just needed one quick thing before we go. You both have the most charismatic backgrounds that I have seen on Zooms, maybe ever. I've interviewed hundreds of people. Your backgrounds are both so, like, they've got so much personality. Just wanted to note that.
Thanks.
Thank you
we
for your
worked hard
time.
at them.
Yeah.
That means a ton. That means a ton. And thank you for asking us about sandwiches. It's like not just that sandwich, but sandwiches generally is probably one of the things that Jon and I talk about the most.
Yeah,
It's
it's a big deal.
the great communicator, the connector. Well, thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful press tour.
Thanks for having us.
You know, a sandwich really is a
I'm fantastic. It's
You're in Philadelphia?
I am.
Excellent.
Where is Bergen Street? It's just a gigantic sign behind you, so I have to ask.
It's in Brooklyn. It's a big sign. Look how big this is.
That really is large. Is that a real sign? Like
I think so. No, it's a photograph I took, but it's where me and my the love of my life met on the platform
that's so
of Bergen Street subway.
Oh, that's so sweet. I didn't know if you stole it or how that worked out, but
No, you think it's tile, but it is just a
wow.
photo.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't gonna tell, but it's okay. Okay, let me get into character. I'm a very serious journalist, and I start every interview off with a hard-hitting question. What is your favorite sandwich?
Croque Monsieur.
Oh, that's a really good one. And that's a quick response, too.
It was going to be peanut butter and jelly, but in recent years it changed, I think.
That's a good one. Ben Folds a couple weeks ago gave me a peanut butter and honey, which I was not ready for. He said it was more adult. And I was like, I don't know if that's true, but
It seems like the kind of thing you would put on one slice of bread.
Yeah.
That on top and then eat it like this.
Yeah. Like a sticky situation with that one.
Yeah, that's not good.
Now, with
Ben
voice
is
act-
wrong.
Yeah, he is wrong. It's fine. With a show like this, you've done a number of voices and different voice acting roles. For you, as someone with a comedy background and coming to all these different voice acting roles, how do you develop a voice for a character? Like, what is your process? Is it something where you're trying to get a different inflection in how you're speaking, or what do you do?
I tend to be pretty technical, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me a little while to get out of that, but in the first day or two of trying to figure out the voice, I'm very meticulous about it, and then I can loosen up. But generally, I read what is lacking in the scene. So if I'm in a scene with other people, I can hear their voices, and I say, what contrasts that and still supports those voices, and also who do I know who sounds like these lines, and what attitude am I looking for with this, and if that attitude was all there was about me, what would that sound like, and then flesh it out from there, so it's not just one thought or one voice.
Did you do any specific training for the voice acting versus the physical acting? Like, is there anything that you do specifically to go into the booth rather than doing a live performance?
Well, I mean, if you're saying what has anything influenced me or did I study? Not really. I watched a lot of TV, a lot of movies, and I can borrow, the first step of a voice from someone else's performance or from someone I know. And then just going into the booth, I'll do a vocal warm up sometimes, depending. And then I also will, with long-term things like Baymax, which is a character in a Disney movie that I did 11 years ago, which I'm still doing for Disney in various other forms. Sometimes I'll listen to myself back from 2014 and see if I still have the right, am I still doing the right performance? But then I wonder, am I just imitating myself rather than being the character? And I let myself off the hook. I think I'm doing original work and not just miming and mimicking myself.
I feel like an imitation of yourself is a good enough performance.
You'd think so, but again, I'm very meticulous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you're the only one legally who's allowed to do the imitation of yourself. But with something like Shape Island, you're doing a show where a lot of it is about teaching lessons to your young audience. Do you ever find yourself walking away, taking these lessons into your own life?
Well, that's the point, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, some of the things are lessons about how to interact with other people, how to be generous with your time with them, with your forgiveness with them, and just kind of acknowledging who they are without having to filter it through yourself first. And so that's a lesson I can always stick with. And then also there's an aspect of giving yourself a break for being, when you feel guilty or when you feel responsible for something that is bad, acknowledging that you shouldn't do it again, but also giving yourself a break and not letting it weigh you down for the rest of your life. I think that lesson comes up a couple of times in the series, and I can certainly take that away too, because I'll feel very bad about things for a long time, and it doesn't help.
Well, thank you for your time. I'm
Just a big, big questions.